So you're thinking about maybe applying for a home loan to buy or refinance a home or investment property? Or maybe you're thinking about building a new house or remodeling your current home. Well, if that's the case, welcome to my channel, which is all about home loans. In this video, I'm going to talk about getting pre-approved for a home loan and why this could be especially rewarding and necessary here in the Lone Star State. Also, stick around to the end. I'm going to share with you a consumer guide I wrote to ensure you get the absolute best deal on your next home loan. If this is the first time to this channel and you want to know everything about home loans, then subscribe below and tap the bell so you can be the first to know about the current market condition in Austin and around Central Texas. Hi, my name is Mark Harrison with Texas Mortgage Source, and I get calls and emails every day from people just like you looking to make a move to Austin or Central Texas, and I absolutely love it. So whether you're moving in 1 year or 1 month, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, or let's set up a Zoom call so we can explore the best loan options for you. And as a mortgage broker since 1985, I've helped thousands of families in Austin and around Texas to purchase the home of their dreams, and I'd love to help you. So let's face it, buying a home is very exciting, but let's be real. The mortgage process can feel overwhelming and like learning a whole new language. Interest rates, disclosures, underwriting, processing, it's all a lot to learn. So in this video, I'm going to break down the mortgage process step by step. So whether you're buying a first-time home or refinancing or even building a custom home, you're going to walk away with a clear roadmap on what to expect. By the end, you'll know exactly the path from pre-approval all the way to getting your keys at closing. And I'll even share some of the insider tips that most loan officers don't tell you up front. So the first step really before even looking for properties is to get pre-approved. Pre-approval is a foundation. Think of it like getting your game plan before stepping onto a field like a sporting event. So here's what happens. You're going to provide us with certain things like pay stubs and W-2s for the last couple of years. Everything we do is a 2-year look back. If you're self-employed or retired or on commission income, we're going to ask you for 2 years tax returns for the last 2 years. Next, we're going to pull your credit to look at a couple things. Number one, your debt structure. How much do you owe in credit cards, student loans, installment loans, things like that. It's going to show you your credit history along with your scores. And we can talk about credit scores in some later videos, but it's going to be very important we know your credit scores. And then we calculate your debt to income ratio. It's called DTI, which compares your monthly debts to your monthly gross income. Lenders like to see this to see how comfortable they are handling a mortgage. At the end, you're going to receive a pre-approval letter. This is your ticket to go shop confidently for a new house. Sellers want proof that you can actually close on the house, and this gives them confidence in this letter that you've been to a lender and given them all your information. So here's a pro tip. Don't confuse pre-qualification with pre-approval. Pre-qualification is a surface level, but pre-approval is verified and much stronger by a loan underwriter. Step number 2, house shopping and making an offer. Now this is kind of the fun part. I've bought several homes and I love this part myself. You work with a realtor, a good realtor, to find a home that fits your budget and your lifestyle. When you find the right one, your agent writes an offer, or what they call a contract. That offer includes your price and terms, and most important, your pre-approval letter. Sellers see your letter and know that you're a serious buyer. This is also where the strategy matters. Sometimes a very strong pre-approval can help you offer stand out even if you're not the highest bidder on a property. So step number 3 is the application itself. Once your offer is accepted, the real process works. The real process begins with a pre-approval application. Even if you're already gone through the pre-approval itself, we update and lock in any details. Let's say you've changed jobs since we first met. We're going to update that. At this stage, you're going to choose the right loan program. There's several loan programs we're going to look at. Number 1 is conventional financing, probably the most popular type of loan program. It's great for borrowers with a strong credit scores and some down payment. FHA is also a very popular program in Texas, designed for a little bit lower down payments or credit flexibility. They're going to be more flexible in your credit scores. And VA, of course, is probably the best benefit by far for qualified veterans. So if you're a veteran, you definitely want to look at a VA loan, and we specialize in those as well. There's no down payment, and there's no private mortgage insurance. Other types of loans have some level of mortgage insurance. USDA is also a popular loan for rural or suburban buyers with zero down payment options, kind of like VA, but you don't have to be a veteran. But there are certain restrictions on where you can live. So make sure your lender is very aware of USDA financing. And finally, there's non-QM and what we call DSCR for self-employed or investors who don't fit the traditional lending box. These are outside the box programs for investors. So if that's what you're looking for, if it's an investment property, we can talk about that as well. So I'm going to break each of these down in future videos. But here you just look at the financing path. Number 4 would be processing and underwriting the loan. This usually takes 3 to 4 weeks to complete the process. This is where the bulk of the work happens behind the scenes. Processing, our team collects and verifies everything. Everything you disclose to us: employment verification, bank accounts. We're going to get an appraisal done. We'll do title search on the property. You'll need home insurance and much, much more. We'll talk about that once we get together in person. We package up your file and tell your financial story to an underwriter. And here's where the underwriter comes into play. They're like the referee in the game. Their job is to make sure the loan meets all of the rules, both from the lender and the other agencies like Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, VA, and FHA. You may hear these terms as we go. You'll often hear the word conditions. Conditions are simply that the underwriter is asking for clarification, like a letter with explanation on maybe a large bank deposit, or maybe an updated pay stub. Very totally normal stuff. And here's a pro tip. This stage can feel very stressful because it takes a few weeks, but remember, every single loan goes through it. Quick responses and good communication make this process much, much smoother. And finally, loan approval and closing. Once your file clears underwriting, you get the 3 magic words: clear to close. That means the lender is ready to finalize the loan. You've met all the requirements of the different lending institutions, and we're ready to sign documents. Before closing, you're going to receive a closing disclosure. It's a 5-page document that lists your loan terms, your interest rate, your monthly payment, and all of your closing. By federal law, that needs to be done at least 3 business days prior to closing, so you have time to review. And let's take that time seriously. Compare it to your original loan estimate you would have got at application. Ask questions if something looks different. Sometimes fees shift, and you deserve to know exactly why. So closing day is the day of what we call celebration. You're going to receive a whole stack of documents: mortgage notes, deeds of trust, title paperwork, and final disclosures from the lender. You're going to have the exact number you'll need to close the loan, and you'll wire that down payment and your closing cost. Then the lender sends over the money to the title company, and once the deed is recorded, you are officially a homeowner. Keys in hand, smiles all around. It's one of my favorite moments in this business over 40 years. So tips to keep the process smooth. Let me leave you with 3 tips that will make your mortgage process a lot easier. Keep your finances steady. Don't open new credit cards. Don't go out and buy furniture or change jobs mid-process. This can definitely cause a delay in your approval. Stay very organized. Create a folder, digital or paper, with all your documents. So when the lender asks, you'll have everything at your fingertips. And finally, lean on your team. Your realtor and your mortgage professional are here to guide you. Ask lots of questions because knowledge is power. So that's really the big picture of the process, from pre-approval to closing date. It may seem complicated, but with the right guidance, it's actually a very, very straightforward journey. If this was helpful at all, hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss upcoming deep dives into each step. Drop a comment below with the biggest part of the process you want me to explain further. I may feature your question on my next video. And hey, before you go, I want to give you something that can really help you. If you're shopping for a mortgage or planning to soon, I put together a very simple, easy to read consumer guide I call The Truth in Lending. It breaks down exactly how lenders price loans, how to compare quotes the right way, what fees actually matter, and how to avoid getting overcharged by lenders. There's no fluff, there's no jargon, just the stuff I wish every buyer knew before they started shopping. And because you watched this video all the way to the end, I'm going to give it to you for free. Just comment your email below and I'll get it to you ASAP. Use it as a cheat sheet anytime you're comparing lenders or trying to make sense of rates and fees, because it can get complicated. I've been doing this over 40 years, and this guide will save you time, money, and a whole lot of stress. So if you want the truth, the real truth about how loans work, about how to shop for the best mortgage, grab a free copy. Enjoy it, and if you have any questions, you know where to find me.